Welcome, everyone, to the latest edition of the Firmware Update, your podcast of sorts. You shut your face.
You suddenly became very unsure of yourself.
Shut up. Your podcast of choice for all your PlayStation news, reviews, and predictions, as the case today. And, folks, spoiler, as my friend just interrupted here, he's back, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Garcia is finally home. How you doing, buddy?
He's back to co-host your podcast of choice.
It's only the intro I've been doing for the last year now. I mean, let's make fun of it now. That makes sense. And I'm the other host on this podcast, Malcolm Spinetti. How you been, man?
I think that sums it up.
Yeah. I don't blame you. How do we transition from this awkward situation? Hey, we both got iPhones today.
Or this week, rather.
This week, yeah.
Yeah, I got mine.
Go
ahead.
I was about to say, have you ever had one before?
Yeah, I had a 3GS way back.
Oh, wow.
And it was a terrific phone. I love that phone.
Yeah, well, I work, as some people know, working at AT&T. I still see people with that phone, so I guess I don't think
I don't believe you.
No, seriously. They're still rocking the 3GS. Like, oh, this is such a good phone. Like, there's not even 4G on this phone, man.
I know. It's like that. Like, I see people with, like, the 4S, and I think they may as well be carrying, like, a Motorola Razr. It's like, what are you doing?
It's not pretty on that 3GS, let me tell you.
I can't imagine.
Do you have the 6 or the 6 Plus?
I opted for the 6 Plus.
You had to get that bigger screen, huh?
I kind of did, yeah, because I figured why. Like, I was considering getting a new phone, and pretty much every option was, on the Android side, all the options are basically, large phones anyway, unless you go, with a Galaxy, and I don't care for Samsung, really.
Well, be more specific, because there's like 6 different Galaxy phones.
Oh, sure. I mean, but the two major ones that came out, the Galaxy S6 and the Edge, they're smaller phones. Not much smaller, but they're more traditional size, I guess.
Yeah, they're a 5.1 inch screen compared to the Note 4's 5.7 inch screen.
Right.
I actually had to look that up for a customer today. That's how it works.
Okay. And the options on the Android side just weren't as compelling because I had a Nexus 5 and I love that phone, probably the best phone I've owned. It's just that my particular Nexus 5 didn't take well to the Lollipop update, and it's gotten worse in the last few weeks. And I was like, okay, this will no longer do. So I'm punting that thing off to grab this here iPhone, I guess.
Now, was this an official upgrade for you? Or did you buy it outright on like eBay or something?
No, I mean, man, let me tell you, I know you over there work for AT&T, but that was some irksome shit I dealt with.
Hey,
because I mean, before, you could get the phone on, via an upgrade, I got the 128 gig model for, and I was like, all right, $500, sure. And I was ready to go, but apparently they freaking up, like, my line is on a family plan, so they would up the price of my line from 15 to 40. If you go with the upgrade, or you can go with the next plan, and you'll keep the same rate for that family line. And I was like, so what you're saying is that there's no real point in upgrading here, because you'll be spending as much money, with the increase in the price of the line, you add that to, the freaking, like, over time, it's like, yeah, you're paying the same freaking amount of money over the course of 2 years, whether you go with the next or the upgrade. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go with the next.
Yeah, and how much did you spend on the phone instead of $500?
Well, I mean, overall, I'm going to spend $1,000 on this phone, basically. So
compared to if you had done it on a contract?
Well, I mean, if I'd done it on contract, it would have been $500. But like I said, if you accept the contract price of the phone, they up the price of the line from 15 to freaking 40. So
really? I didn't know this.
I was like, yeah, I didn't either. Last time I upgraded, they did not do that. So, I was like, yeah, I'll use the upgrade. I'll spend half the money, like half the regular price of the phone. Like, it'll be great, fun. Like, okay. And the way the guy was talking to me, he's like, oh, well, AT&T, like, he was talking about like the way AT&T, like, as AT&T was like this mom and pop operation. It's like, it's a global telecommunications conglomerate. The way he was talking about it is like, oh, well, if we didn't do this, we couldn't pay the bills. It's like, all right, get the hell out of my face with that. All right, just tell me you want more money, and that's fine.
Okay, couldn't pay the bills. That has nothing.
It's like, well, AT&T loses so much money on these contracts. something. It's like, all right, pal, let's settle down here. AT&T is gonna be just fine.
Oh, okay. By the way, when I said I didn't know about this, I was being sarcastic. This is literally my day every single day explaining the next program.
It's like I understood the next program, but we had the upgrade, and we figured out like overall, like I'd rather spend the $500 up front rather than piecing out this $1,000 payment basically over the course of 2 years or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, essentially what it does is it takes the retail cost of the phone and spreads it out over X amount of months. Like, which next program did you decide to do, by the way?
What is it? I forget what the names are confusing too, because it's like it's called the 18 or whatever, but it's like 24 payments. It's like what? But I think I did the 24 payment one, whatever the actual name of that.
That's next 18. That's where you have the option to upgrade early by trading the device in at month 18, and you can go to the next iPhone.
Yeah, it's like these things are so stupid.
They're pretty clear. I'm sorry that the guy who was helping you didn't explain it correctly to you.
It's not that he didn't explain it. He just was kind of a dick about it. It was very.
Well, I apologize. He's an asshole.
It's like he was very. It was like the way he was. It was very condescending. It's like I understand what you're explaining here. I'm telling you as a customer that I think it's horseshit. But like you don't have to try to sell me on the horseshit. Like I know it is. Just stop. Just tell me you want more. Just tell me that it's more money. Just fine.
Yeah.
Don't sell it as an AT&T being a mom and pop operation that can barely pay the bill.
Well, yeah. I mean, the way I try to explain to customers, it's just something that's only more noticeable because now you get a discount when you're out of contract.
Yeah.
Which is new at this one. Back on the days of Family Talk, it was just $40 per line, regardless of whether you're under contract or not. So, you never noticed it. Like that $40 on a contract is the normal charge that's always been there. But when we introduced the new mobile share value, they did this thing where if you switch to it, even if you're under contract, we'll give you that discount right off the bat. And chances are, and I'm guessing, Joe, they didn't really explain that part to you. They just said, yeah, well, it'll drop your bill to this.
It was that guy.
And once again, as an employee of AT&T, I apologize that they didn't explain it to you. Because I deal with that every day now. Like when somebody comes in, I want to do an upgrade. Okay, if you do the upgrade, it's going to increase your bill by this. All right, well, what if I do a contract? It's going to increase your bill by this. And it's like, I didn't know any of this. And then I'm like, oh, that's really terrible that you didn't know that.
Like either way, no matter what, whether you go by contract or by freaking or by the next, like either way, you would have to come up with $1,000 over the course of 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's like
for getting this phone.
Yeah, like I said, it's only noticeable now, especially with the contract, because we give you a discount when you're off of it, and there are benefits to the next. Like I said, you were prepared to come in and drop $500 on the phone, but you spend $57 in taxes, and you were able to get the phone.
Yeah. I didn't feel like paying $1,000 over the course of 2 years for it.
Well, you would have done it anyway, because if we were the one with the contract, because it would have been $500. Oh, by the way, did he tell you that the $40 upgrade fee is waived?
Or what?
If you do it on Next.
Yeah, he did. I mean, yeah.
So you save money there too, but yeah, if you look at a contract, the $500, the $40 fee, and you said it would have gone up $15.
No, from 15 to 40.
Okay. So you're on the family plan. So so you would have gone up $25, which is like $768 over the course of 2. I've done this math before.
Right. So over the course of 2 years, it would cost me more to go on contract. I was like, well, what's the point of the contract then?
Exactly, because they're trying to phase this out. That's right. Because T-Mobile, blame this on them. They're the one who introduced this system, and people really flocked to it. So now everyone has it, and everyone's going to eventually phase it out. AT&T is doing fine. I don't know why he told you that much.
Yeah, it's like we could barely keep the lights on with the old model. It's like, get the fuck out of my face with that.
Honestly, it's like a less expensive way of doing it. It just spreads it out over the course of several months. And it does give you more control of the upgrade. Like before, you had to do 2 years, no questions asked. But with this, you could actually accelerate your upgrade if you want to. There's a lot of benefits to it that are all really boring for you and our listeners, I'm sure. I'm sure Lee is listening to this right now, my boss, and he's like, oh, this is great TV. This is great radio right now.
This is rocking good stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know what to sound like, so I just made a voice.
Lee's cool shit. Unfortunately, he's leaving the store. Well, fortunately, because it's not, he's going on to better things. He's going to become a banker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's actually going to become a manager of a Bank of America. So Godspeed to you, Lee.
So he's going to go from. Never mind. Okay.
He's one of two good listeners we have, Joe. Come on.
I was going to make a joke, and I decided not to.
Yeah, that's a good call, man. But to all the people listening out there, there's actually a lot of benefits out there to the next program. Unfortunately, Joe suffered unfortunately, he had 2 bad experiences. But it does, like I said, it allows you to get better phones quicker at less money up front.
To top it all off, too, though, is that I went to the AT&T store to do this thing, and he waited until after this 15 minutes of this spiel to tell us. I was like, oh, yeah, we don't have the 128 gig in stock in any color. I was like, well, what the fuck are we talking to you for? They went to the Apple store instead.
Oh.
He's like, yeah, we don't have any 128 gigs in stock. Oh, well, great.
Yeah, that's unfortunately kind of a rare one.
Yeah, I went to the Apple store about 20 minutes away, and they're like, oh, yeah, we've got a amount of them.
Now, my iPhone that I got the 64 gig. Mine has some historic significance to it, Joe.
Oh?
Yeah, because believe it or not, I think ever since the 3GS, AT&T employees have not been allowed to get an iPhone as a work phone.
Really?
Yep, they were all Androids, because at a certain point, Apple realized that, the iPhone was the greatest phone of all time, and they didn't need us to really push it or sell it because it just sold.
It never really made sense that they went exclusive at all for that while.
Well, it was like the new thing. I don't think there was smartphones until the iPhone came out. So at the time...
there were Blackberries and Palm Pilots, PDAs.
Yeah, but they were nowhere near what the...
Well, I know, but I'm saying that those are obvious. Everything in that original iPhone was the refinement of years of PDAs and Blackberries.
I don't know. If you compare a Blackberry to the phones that were smartphones that came out, or even Androids or iPhones, there's really no comparison. But I digress.
I'm saying these are refinements on those mouths.
All right. Anyway, on top of this, this was a pretty big gamble because, Apple had only done computers, and now they're like, hey, this is our phone, and it's going to be all touchscreen, only one button. Yeah, and it's going to have these things called apps. And I wouldn't have been surprised if Verizon and Sprint were like, oh, okay, that's crazy, man. That's not going to sell. We're going to pass. AT&T is always first at the door for new ideas and stuff. So yeah, they jumped right on it, and it paid off quite a bit for them for a long time. But as soon as it started selling, it started making its way. But anyway, finally Apple relented a little bit, and each store picked 2 select members of the crew to go and become an Apple master.
Are you telling me, Malcolm, that you are one of your select Apple masters?
Yes, indeed. I was one of 2 selected on my entire roster of the store.
Now, what pray tell makes you a master, Malcolm?
That I took the training.
Okay. So it's 30 minutes on a computer.
No, I was at... it was actually from 8:30 to 1 o'clock, the training that I took on June 4th.
Okay.
And I thought I was going to get a 16 gig, but they're like, nope, not only... And they would give me whatever color they had, and they're like, nope, tell you what, you can pick not only any color in this giganto box of iPhones, but you're getting 64 gigs. So you can So wait, 64 gigs so I can actually use the thing? And they're like, yes. You're not going to be one of those losers with 16 gigs. No, sir. So, and like I've said before, I've worked at Metro for 5 years, and all they had were Android phones. So I've been using an Android device for 6 years straight, with only one short pause in between jobs when I joined my wife's plan. But when I didn't know which company I was going to be working for, I had to return the 5S I had in order to make sure that I stayed free. Because it would have been weird if I was on Verizon for 2 years while working at AT&T. No. So yeah, and thank goodness. So now I have the iPhone 6, and this is my first real experience with the thing. And I have to say, it is a good phone.
Well, yeah, they've always been good phones. It's just that the only reason I actually really switched in the first place from the Apple 3GS is when I switched over to Sprint, and this was before that exclusivity had ended, so they didn't have the iPhone at Sprint. So I went with the Galaxy S2 when that came out. On the day that came out, that's the day I switched to Sprint, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And the Galaxy Galaxy S2 is a fucking terrific phone. And then the Galaxy S, and then I left Sprint because I was like, well, this is terrible. So I went back to AT&T. But I liked the S2 so much that I was like, yeah, I'll try out the S3, and that was a good phone too. But the only thing that annoyed me about the S3 is like the S4 came out like 8 months after the S3, and I was like, well, what the fuck? And the S4 just wasn't as, like, the S4 and the S5 just weren't as reviewed as well as the previous one. So I was like, I went with the Nexus 5 instead, and that was real great. But now like I'm back. Like, it's not like I'm unfamiliar with iOS. Like, I've had an iPad this entire time, like even with all these Androids. So like it's not, I'm familiar with the system. There are just a couple of things here and there that I kind of miss from the old Android.
Yeah.
But overall, it's like, yeah, this is like, it's always been a terrific phone.
Yeah, like right now I'm just like really high off of it, and I'm wondering how much of that is just because it's a new thing for me. Like, I had an iPod Touch like forever back in the day, but once I figured out how to get podcasts on the Android, that was it. But
Right.
But I gotta tell you, after using this for like 2-3 days, I'm wondering how I lived without fingerprint reading.
I know, me too. Like, that's actually kind of what swayed me, because like the only other phone I was really considering was the G4, the LG G4 that came out last week. And between like the plastic body and the lack of of a freaking fingerprinting, I was like, I really like the fingerprinting, and yeah, it's great stuff. I like the finger. Like this past week, I've used Apple Pay a couple of times to buy some at Walgreens or whatever. And I had the Passbook app open, and I've got my Walgreens rewards card, and then I like scans the freaking barcodes there, and then I freaking go over to my debit card, bloop bloop. The whole transaction takes like 10 seconds. I was like, well, that was awesome. So I'm happy.
Indeed, like on my previous work phone, which was the Note 4, which was the reason I was kind of relieved that I didn't get the 6 Plus, just because that was just so big, it was really uncomfortable for me to hold it to my ear. But on my previous phone, I had to enter this freaking 8-digit PIN number to get into my phone, and it was just a pain in the neck each and every single time.
Right.
Now I just put my finger down, boom, and I move on with my day. It's great.
Yeah.
So, folks, make sure you use the iPhone, the new official phone of the firmware update.
And that concludes this week's your number one destination for Apple discussion.
Yeah. And if you have any AT&T questions, Joe, you just see me talk.
Oh, God.
I'll do you a favor and I'll talk to you like an asshole.
Well, that'd be a break from the usual.
You see, AT&T, we need the money since we bought DirecTV for 31 billion, excuse me.
Right.
Oh, gosh. We're feeling that, trust me. But anyway, and we need your help. But anyway, folks, we got a big show to talk about today, including E3 predictions. So, without further ado, let's head to the news. I'm still laughing at the fact that our show began with AT&T and Apple talk. But Joe, let's please take it to some video games now. What happened this week?
Well, we've got a couple of big time game reveals. Neither of them was really even unexpected, but it's nice to know that they're officially confirmed. Starting with Fallout 4.
Yeah, finally.
That has been confirmed for PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. So if you're still rocking the last gen consoles, it's time to move on if you want to play Fallout 4.
What the hell are you waiting for? Jesus
What
Christ.
are you waiting for? They released a trailer and they look really nice, and I'm just excited to play. I'm going to play Fallout 4 because Fallout 3 was so great.
A lot of dog in that trailer too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people are always. I feel like people get overly excited about dogs in video games. It's like they get immediately they get paranoid. It's like, if that dog dies, I'm going to lose my shit. It's like, settle down, all right? Like, it's a fictional dog. Yeah.
And it's not like it's a Team Ico game. The dog's probably going to live. So
yeah, the dog's probably going to be fine. It survived the nuclear holocaust. It'll be fine. So just settle down. But yeah, apparently it will take place in Boston. From what people gathered, location shots or whatever in the trailer suggest that it's in Boston. That looks real cool. Obviously, there'll be more news at E3 in a couple of weeks, or rather 1 week. But yeah, that's exciting. There are already some retailer leaks or whatever suggesting that the game is going to be ready to go sometime this year. So that's even more exciting.
Now, did you see the trailer, Joe?
I did see this trailer.
Now, something that I thought was interesting, like during the course of the trailer, it kept flipping from present day to what looks like just before the bombs exploded.
Yeah.
Do you think this will kind of be some kind of origin story for the world of Fallout?
Not necessarily. It just seemed like more of a. It just I don't know. Kind of feel like because the one thing, even though the one thing that that Fallout never really showed was there were remnants of what could have been in that world where apparently where microprocessors were just never invented or something or whatever it is. You can kind of see like the ashes and just kind of see the what used to be, but you never really get to see it in its full glory or whatever the future that was before the bombs fell. So I think they were just kind of showing.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No.
And for those of you who may not know too much about Fallout 4, essentially the story of the game is, you play a random character who is surviving in a post-apocalyptic world after, shit's bombed.
Yeah.
Put that in the back of the box, yes.
Shit.
That's part, like, I remember Fallout 3. I never did play New Vegas.
Probably.
But, yeah, Fallout 3, I just remember, it's one of those games where it's so freaking big. Like, the first 10 minutes, the first 30 minutes of it, you're in this underground bunker, and then you're finally released into the world. And then from that point on, you could just completely fucking ignore what happened in that bunker. And just
yeah, pretty much.
And just be whatever you want to be, man. You could just, like, roam the countryside being Mad Max. You could follow what I believe is your dad's final wishes to you to go do. Or you could just be an asshole.
Oh, man. Like, I never played any of the Fallout games before Fallout 3. So I wasn't invested in the game, leading up to its release, but once I played it, I fucking put like 100 hours into Fallout 3 easy. That game, man, what a game! Like the humor and the VAT system where you can basically dissect someone with your gun in slow motion. It's just really entertaining. One of my favorites.
Oh yeah, I remember the hardcore mode where you could like break your leg and it would stay broken until you get a hospital.
Oh man,
so, a lot of people are looking forward to this. So this was a really really huge reveal for him. So good job.
Yeah, and I guess a smaller nugget of information that they want you to look forward to, Bethesda, is that apparently they'll have something to go for the new Doom game as well. Because if you remember correctly, they offered a beta to people who bought first run copies of Wolfenstein: The New Order, which released fucking 8 or 9 months ago at this point.
Yep.
And still no word on that beta, so we'll probably hear about that at E3 for sure.
Yeah, that's why you bought the game, wasn't it?
That's probably the reason a few people bought the game, but fortunately for Wolfenstein, that's a great game, damn well worth owning on its own right. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving on. What else happened this week?
Moving on in other super expected but nice to see anyway news. Uncharted: The Nathan Drake Collection will release on PlayStation 4 October 9th, 2015.
I feel like we've been predicting this like every other show.
Because it's like why wouldn't they do that, especially after they moved Uncharted 4 out of 2015? It just made sense to do that. It's just and there were so many like retailer leaks as well, like over the course of the last last few months since people figured that this thing would be coming. But yeah, October 9th, 2015. Of course, that'll include the trilogy of games that released on PlayStation 3. So Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, and Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. The only thing that's not, and of course if you pre-order the game, you'll of course get beta access to Uncharted 4's multiplayer beta. So that's cool. What's not clear is that do you know if this includes like the multiplayer modes for those games?
I don't know.
I couldn't find any information on that. It was just like, woo, here's the 3 adventures everybody likes, and then it's like, does that include multiplayer? 3 games everybody likes. It's like, okay. Sure.
For now, I'll just tentatively say it's the single player only, though that'd be nice of them if they brought back all the multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box art here, and it says single player campaigns for all 3 games on the front of the box. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've seen the box art.
Yeah, but I don't know if you've whether or not you noticed the print on the bottom of it, like next to the Naughty Dog logo.
Okay. Scoop here, folks. Give me one second.
Yeah, between the ESRB rating and the Naughty Dog logo on the bottom, it says single player campaigns for all 3 games. It's like,
oh, there we go.
And so I don't know if that means there's going to be multiplayer or not, but whatever. Probably doesn't matter.
Okay, so it's probably going to just, I would say that multiplayer, though it does come with a multiplayer beta for Uncharted 4.
So yes, enjoy your collection of 1.5 good games.
Which one was the bad one?
Well, okay, maybe it's not bad, but it like after Uncharted 2 2 came out. It's like, well, who would ever play Uncharted 1 again? Who would ever go back to Uncharted 1? Like, unless you really want to see the story on that. But
it's not often you can see Drake take on WWE Kane.
That's right. Oh, God. And then Uncharted 2, of course, a terrific game. And then Uncharted 3. That's half a good game in there.
To be fair, they're all good games. I mean, like those 3 games, I think I might actually pick that up just to clear some room on the shelf. But yeah, that's pretty cool. So, all right, what else happened this week, bud?
Let's see. Sony revealed the top sellers for May 2015 on the PlayStation Store. So all the digital bestsellers are now known to you and I. So here we go. PlayStation 4 games, best-selling game of May 2015 was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. No surprise there.
Shocker, yeah.
That game came out. Yeah, that game came out on the 12th or the 19th, right? So,
yeah.
So it had a couple weeks in there. So had half the month to get in there. Mortal Kombat X at number 2. The Wolf Among Us at number 3. I'm guessing there was a sale for that. Charles Fusion at number 4. Wolfenstein: The Old Blood at number 5. That released in May as well, I think. I think on the same day as The Witcher, now that I think about it. Or the week before, I don't remember. Minecraft at number 6. The Walking Dead, complete first season at number 7. Battlefield Hardline at number 8. Terraria at number 9. And GTA 5 rounding out top 10 for PS4 games. Other notables are like Project Cars at number 12.
It sold like 2 million or something, right?
I don't actually know. I haven't looked into the sales for Project Cars. But, and let's see, Bloodborne is at number 20 for PlayStation 4. So that kind of fell off pretty quick. I guess the people who really wanted it bought it immediately.
Yeah, I would say that's the case there too.
Let's see. On PS3, the Mass Effect trilogy was the leader there. I think a flash sale had the trilogy up for like $6 or $7, so that's not surprising.
It's funny how you can tell what had a flash sale.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, the Wolf Among Us and the Mass Effect trilogy. Let's see, Okami HD was at number 2, Mortal Kombat number 3, Minecraft at number 4, and Ni no Kuni running out the top 5. So I'm guessing that had a sale as well. Mm-hmm. Let's see, PS4 add-ons, the Destiny expansion House of Wolves was number 1. That's really all. Let's see, top-selling Vita games, Freedom Wars, that also had a flash sale, as did Soul Sacrifice Delta at number 2, Mortal Kombat at number 3, Little Big Planet at number 4, and Minecraft rounding out top 5.
Oh, just a quick update. As of 2 days ago, Project Cars sold over 1 million copies.
It shipped or sold?
Sold.
Oh, okay. That's cool. That's a good game, but it's also very bland, if that makes any sense. Like, there's, like, the driving physics are rock solid, and it looks fucking awesome, but, like the, the career structure, is really, it's not super clear, and, like, there's no music in the game whatsoever, except for the menu music. Like, there's just no soundtrack to that game whatsoever, so it's a little dry, despite its triumph. So.
Well, that's a shame, man. Like,
it is.
Looking forward to that game too.
Like, it's a fine game, but it's like, it just feels really bland. Like, some people have that complaint about, Gran Turismo, but I've never agreed with that, and I think that this is taking that sentiment to the agreement. That's that bland game is Project Cars. It's a good game, but man, there's no soul.
Any more news on the MPD front?
No. But speaking of souls, Malcolm, you like that?
Oh, I see what you're doing.
There be leaks here apparently for Dark Souls 3, which is apparently releasing or gearing up for release sometime in 2016. Yeah, Rooster Teeth, their podcast or video show on the YouTube, apparently they got hold of some screenshots and details on this supposed Dark Souls 3. According to the leak, the game will support 1 to 4 players, although whether it's in a co-op or PvP sense remains to be seen. And this report is on IGN.
That game would be really stupid with I don't think so.
Let's see. When you build your character at the start of the game, you'll have the option to choose 1 to 10 different character classes. On the monster front, Rooster Teeth claims that Dark Souls 3 will contain 45 new enemies and 15 new bosses, with a note that this number does not include characters and monsters that have appeared in previous Souls games. So I guess
sounds like some returning bosses then.
Yeah, I mean that's the word "new" kind of implies that. I don't know why they felt they had to clarify but okay. In order to combat these creatures, the leak also states that there will be 100 new weapons and 40 new armor sets to deck out your character. And apparently there are reportedly 60 minutes of mostly in-game or mostly in-engine cutscenes, which is a number far higher player than previous From Software games.
Yeah, like typically in the previous Souls games, you'd see like maybe like a 7-second cutscene in beginning of of a boss or something, just to introduce him, and that would be it. But as seen with Bloodborne, which started using cinematic scenes to show some story, it sounds like they're gonna focus more on telling the story, which while I enjoyed, I guess was more of a complaint than I thought from people who felt lost playing.
Yeah, I mean, but this sounds like it'd be much more Souls for your money, I guess. I mean,
you kind of knew that a sequel was
sure.
I mean, that's like From Software's bread and butter right now is Souls and anything Souls related.
Yeah.
Some other things that have been mentioned, like if you go to Funhouse the channel, they actually had like a little bit more in depth. Like in order to summon a player now, it sounds like you have to grab the body of a previously killed enemy and sacrifice it, and that starts the summoning ritual.
Okay.
And it looks like there'll be like some form of like in the original Demon Souls, like there was a dark and light world perspective depending on what actions you took in that world. Because in like one scene, there's like a boss in this field of like ghost swords. It's actually a really cool environment where you see the hero taking on this weird looking night creature. But then in that what looks to be that same boss fight, the knight is now like this giant sea otter looking demon thing. And but keep in mind, this is all from screenshots here, so this is all speculation. But it's Dark Souls. I'm obviously buying it. I'm obviously really excited, and chances are we'll hear more about it at E3.
Yeah.
You have anything to say on this, Joe? Or
I do not.
All right, we'll do you a solid and move on. We'll save your soul from this story here.
Oh God, now we're definitely moving on to Final Fantasy 15, which apparently is getting some changes in the transition from what used to be Final Fantasy Versus 13 into what is now becoming Final Fantasy 15. And the director Hajime Tabata has in the latest episode of Square Enix's Active Time Report, he revealed what the changes are for this. So he explained that the narrative has changed in three major ways since it was originally written by Final Fantasy veteran Kazushige Nojima for Versus 13. One of the biggest changes involves the character of Stella, who was initially set up as Noctis's female counterpart and the heroine of the story. She has now been cut and will not appear in the story.
Like, for those of you who may not know, that would be the blonde character, that's a blonde female character that's appeared in all the past trailers. She's gone. So, not talking about Sydney. So they literally, it's kind of funny to me in a Final Fantasy game that's already being like picked on for being extremely male driven. And they just announced that they cut 50% of the female cast.
Well, that was the initial gut reaction. But, first of all, let's read this quote here.
Yeah,
he said, from Tabata. He said, "We wanted to keep her as a heroine in Final Fantasy 15's story and pursued ways to tie her into Final Fantasy 15's design as well. But we found it increasingly difficult to make sense of Stella's character and role within Final Fantasy 15. So then we thought, do we want to recreate Stella with a different role and image, or do we want to start over with a new heroine? And after a lot of consideration, we decided not to include Stella in FFXV. So instead, a new character called Luna has been created instead, with more information about her expected in due course. So the initial gut reaction was saying, oh, well, they cut the only female character in the game. Or it's like, well, they replaced her with a different
Okay, well, that's good.
I just kind of wonder. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it feels like if they're just swapping characters, I don't know. It feels like, why? I don't know. Something about it's like, why couldn't?
Yeah, why couldn't it work? I
mean, yeah, if they're just swapping one person for another, it's like, why couldn't it work?
Well, maybe they were listening to your commentary on the subject, Joe, when you're saying like, I don't see why the females can't hang out, and they're like, yeah, that's right. Why can't they just hang out?
Like, this female can't hang out, but this one can maybe. So, I don't know.
So you watch. Luna's going to be this gigantic tomboy, and that's how they're like, yeah, one of the guys.
Right. Okay. Let's see. Another casualty of the transition to Final Fantasy 15 involves the setting of the original trailer. It took place in the city of Insomnia, with invaders from Niflheim crashing a party. That scene has now been cut entirely, with the Niflheim army attacking after Noctis and team leave the city. Why this was done is a spoiler, but apparently the original scene was mainly there as an introduction to Stella. So with her out of the picture, obviously that scene didn't make much sense anymore. So let's see. The final change involves an addition. However, as Tabata has promised that there definitely will be fighting in a city of some sort taking place. Whether it's Insomnia or not remains to be seen. So there you have it. Those are some of the changes coming to Final Fantasy 15 via the transition from Final Fantasy Versus 13.
Those are actually some pretty major changes.
Yeah, and we definitely will not be seeing the game at E3 this year, which is probably the biggest indicator that it's not coming this year.
And the fact that they said they're completely rewriting certain segments.
Yeah.
How crazy must you be if you're a writer on that game right now? It's like, we have to rewrite it again? I mean...
Oh, God. That's gotta be the pits. And finally, in Final Fantasy 15 news is also via that same active time report, they confirmed that the updated version of the episode Du Sky demo will be released on June 9th. So this Tuesday it will be released, and there will be changes. Of course, there are changes to that.
Did you see the trailer for those changes, by the way?
For the demo?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Of course.
I I never thought that someone would be like, "Here's a trailer for an update to a demo we made." It's like, what? the idea that the fact that you just said that is shocking me.
Well, we actually reported a little bit on it on the show in a previous.
Yeah, we reported the changes, but I didn't think they'd make a trailer for changes to a demo.
Oh yeah. So just to talk about some of the changes there, and I'll try to do this as briefly as I can. And this number one, and I say number one because my wife is just gonna explode with joy when I tell her this news. Joe, did you ever play the demo?
Yeah.
Do you remember those giant brontosaurus-looking enemies? Or
yeah.
So my wife, for the longest time, was dead set on killing one of those things.
Okay.
Like, she would go to each lake, and I would just watch her run the gamut of the entire length of the lake, trying to find an opening. Like, there's got to be a way to kill those things. Why else would they put them there? It was actually pretty cute. She's trying to kill these giant things, and I'm telling her, I guarantee you find a way they're gonna kill you in one hit. But first change they showed off, you can now fight those things.
Okay.
So yeah, and it's a pretty incredible fight. Making the most out of the warp system that Noctis uses. But yeah, you can finally find those things. I'm going to show that to my wife tonight, and I think she's just going to be in heaven. But that's change number one. Change number two, you got some more weapons, and in case you forgot, how you equip the weapons and where you equip the weapons gives you different move sets and different combination stuff. And the one they showed off primarily was this giant great sword that actually looked pretty cool. Another one is enemies have more AI reactions, so they'll be smarter. And speaking of AI, your counterparts will also be more engaged with each other. So it makes it more seem like they're interacting in real time. What have you'll see them joking around. Noctis took a swing at Gladio, which is the huge dude, and Gladio just he pretty much lightly backhanded Noctis's punch away. It was pretty funny. It's get the fuck out of here, man. And another big thing that they're introducing is team attacks. So in one of them, there you see this yellow trail appear before Noctis, and it ends. And if you run all the way to the other end, it'll tell you to press a button, and that'll begin a big link attack. Where if you keep hitting the right buttons, your team will hit combo after combo after combo. Finally ending with this gigantic 4-man attack that'll do massive damage. So this is all little things, and I cannot confirm this, but from our earlier report, we also said that they were going to redo a lot of the voice acting for Noctis, as they pretty much made him Batman.
Yeah, they did say that they were doing.
Yes, but that wasn't in the trailer, so it was a Japanese trailer, so I didn't hear any English.
Oh yeah, they probably didn't have to change anything for the Japanese, I guess. But yeah, that was definitely one of the changes that they said was coming to the English version at least.
Yes, in the new demo, Noctis will just simply say, "I am the knight," and run away alone. But yeah, so they said he's going to sound a lot more younger and a lot less dark, which is kind of funny considering he's all in dark.
I know.
But anyway, I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think it's really cool that Square is sort of changing the definition of a demo, and it's not really a demo anymore. It's kind of turning into a beta.
Maybe, yeah, that's one way to look at it. I mean, especially if the full game is as far out now as I fear it might be, they might just kind of do that.
I mean, do you think this is turning into Square becoming too much of a perfectionist on this game?
I mean, it's hard to say because I mean, on the one hand, you would want the game to come out in tip-top shape, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, if they keep changing stuff, they're not going to like that. Let's change it. If they keep changing stuff, it's never coming out.
Yeah, that's true too. Like that was kind of the weird thing about it. Is like we're going to change stuff that you don't like in the game. It's like okay, to an extent that makes sense with hardcore like game mechanics or whatever. But if like you're going to start changing like the story and stuff or certain like artistic things based on what people say, like that's probably not like the right way to go.
Yeah, I mean there is I understand the whole wanting to do mass appeal, but at the same time it is impossible to please everybody.
Right. So it's like just make the game you want.
Just go with your vision, dude. All right. So unless you have anything to add, Joe,
I do not.
Moving on.
All right. Let's see. There was apparently there's a report here saying that a couple new PS4 models are coming soon via some leak here. The FCC published certification documents for two new PS4 models, or rather, two variants of the PS4 model that you know now. The documentation includes or shows that some changes are coming to the internals of the PlayStation 4. But one of the two variants is that one of them is going to be a 1 terabyte hard drive option, complementing the 500 gigabyte version that's on sale now. That's probably the biggest part of that. And then there's other smaller stuff that they're just changing across the board, like they're changing like the power supply and things like that. Like the kinds of things that they change all the time on hardware. But yeah, there you go. 1 terabyte coming to PS4.
It's a shame that I can't have that on my 500 gigabyte PS4, but oh well.
There you go. I mean, I already put a terabyte. Like the first thing I did was put a terabyte in my PS4 when I got it. So
if I had more money at the time, I definitely would have done that.
Yeah.
Oh well, maybe does that external hard drive that what's it called that GameStop sells? Does that work? Or?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. Like, but I don't think they support external hard drives. I might be wrong on that, but like I don't think there's like external hard drive support on the PS4.
Yeah. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's interesting that it's not like a PS4 Slim or something like that. Not that it needs it. It's already
it's already small and it's only been a couple of years. So
yeah, I think we were speaking of. I keep mentioning shows we've done. I think one of the first things I mentioned when I saw the PS4 is like, oh wow, it looks like they jumped right to the Slim model. I mean,
like the only real changes really, aside from the hard drive, is some changes to the power supply or whatever. It seems like it's a little bit more efficient than the launch model. So that's really it.
All right, moving on. What else happened?
Let's see. Mighty Number 9. There are some details that Concept or Deep Silver rather, who's publishing the game physically, they revealed that the game is getting cross-buy support. So if you buy the game on PlayStation 4, you'll get access to the PS3 and Vita versions and vice versa. So that's cool. And they also have more details on the PS4 retail version, where you will receive the Ray DLC, which grants you access to the abandoned lab stage, a boss battle against a new bad guy called Ray, and the ability to then play through the entire game as Ray himself or herself.
And Ray, I would like to point out, looks kind of like Zero from the Mega Man X series.
A little bit. But that seems like concept product ours. Let's see. Included with the retail version as well, you'll also get a double-sided poster as well as the art of you'll get an art booklet as well. So neato. I don't know what the price of that standard physical release is going to be, but if you pre-order the game, you'll also get a Retro Hero DLC, which kind of gives you like a Minecraft-looking version of Beck. And there's also a signature edition as well, which comes with a little figurine, 6.5-inch figurine, complete with 14 points of articulation and interchangeable faceplates, of course. And that will be available for $59.99. So I guess the retail version cheaper than that, the regular version. There you go.
Nice. Oh, by the way, this is kind of breaking news here.
Oh.
All right. So Bloodstain Ritual, which we've talked about a few weeks ago here on the show. 5 days to go left on this one. But
okay.
it reached its $3.5 million goal.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah, and as a result, that means we're getting this on Vita.
Yeah, right. Should have put that in the news. That I saw that a couple days ago, just on Twitter, just looking at Twitter, and it's like, oh, cool. So yeah, that's getting a Vita version. Cool.
Yeah, which is kind of cool. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be bigger than Symphony of the Night, but going by, how well I thought it played on the Vita, this could be a surprisingly good way to play this game. So
yeah, and I think that with the Vita version, that now includes cross-save support as well. So if you have both versions of the game, PS4 and Vita, you'll be able to cross-save at your leisure. I don't know if it'll be cross-buy, but cross-save, I think, for sure.
Now, they've got like a ton of other goals, including one at 1.75 million, which I'm not holding my breath for, but if we could reach the $3.75 million mark, in which case we get orchestrated tracks, I'll be really happy. Because, Symphony of the Night, those orchestrated tracks, just freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Everything about Symphony of the Night was amazing. God damn.
Pretty much, yes.
Great game.
It's an amazing.
All right, moving on. What else happened this week, Joe?
Let's see. What else did happen? Danganronpa, another episode, Ultra Despair Girls, is coming to PlayStation Vita on September 1st. Exclusively on PlayStation Vita, of course. According to the PlayStation blog post here, if you played the first two Danganronpa games, then of course, that's just that. I thought there was going to be a sales pitch there, but it's just some typing. But yeah, there you go. September 1st, the new Danganronpa.
Daggone.
I still have to play the first two. I have them on my Vita, but I haven't got a chance to play them.
Me too, man. I actually haven't yet.
Now that I've got all the puzzle pieces in my 3DS Street Pass, I think I can finally bring my Vita on my commute now instead.
Nice. All right. What else happened this week?
Let's see. PlanetSide 2. I don't know if you remember that this game was announced a long time ago for PlayStation. It's been out on PC for a little while. But they announced the PS4 version a while ago as well. But that will be coming out on June 23rd, which I think is also Batman. So maybe not that they put that out, but that's neither here nor there. Apparently after months of intense beta testing, that will finally come to PS4 June 23rd in North America. There you go.
Very cool. You have anything else to say on this?
No.
Okay, moving on.
Just figured it. Let's see, and I think that's all I've got here. Yep, all I've got.
All righty, with that, I guess it's time for the drop, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Joe, what happened this week, or what dropped this week?
I'm just gonna go. Well, I mean, we're recording this pretty late, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do the new drop for this coming week.
There we go.
Of June 9th, 2015. And this week we see the release of Arcade Archives Gradius, which is the latest in the Arcade Archives kind of library. They've been putting these out like every week for a while. So, but probably the biggest release of the week is The Elder Scrolls Online Tamriel Unlimited, coming to PlayStation 4 digital and retail. I presume for $59.99. That's finally you get to play a game that nobody really liked on PC on your PlayStation 4. Malcolm, isn't that exciting?
Yay.
Man. We've we got our copies of that game at Best Buy a little while ago, and I looked at the back of the box, and you're going to need 75 gigabytes on your PlayStation 4 hard drive for that one. So you might have to clear some space if you've been buying a lot of games since buying your PS4.
75?
75 gigabytes for that one.
Woo.
Yeah, it's a big one. That there's your big boy, Malcolm.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Let's see. On PlayStation 4 as a digital title will be Hustle Kings, pool or billiards game, rack 'em up on your PS4 as you see fit. Invokers Tournament on PlayStation 4 is a digital title. Lego Jurassic World is coming out on digital and retail for pretty much all PlayStation platforms, PS4, PS3, and Vita. And Operation Abyss, New Tokyo Legacy on Vita as a digital and retail title. You'll also get a demo for Tropico 5 on your PS4. And there you go.
Alrighty.
There's the drop.
Sweet. All right, folks. E3 is a week away. So, see how quickly time flies. All right. So, me and Joe have to predict some stuff on what's going to happen in this quite the seller conference. So, it's been a while since we've done this, but let's go to topic of the week. All right, folks. E3 is almost upon us, which is, to me, the most exciting time of the year in the world of video games. It's our WrestleMania, except it's not ours, and we're merely reporting on it instead of having anything to do with it. So, Joe, how excited are you for E3 this year?
I'm pretty jazzed. I'm always jazzed.
Indeed. And this is going to be a new one for me, because I'll actually be doing the Sony experience, as me and my wife are going to our local theater, and we'll be watching it there for for the entire show.
All right.
Which will hopefully not include all the buffering issues that I typically have watching this at home. So, what about you, Joe? What's your accommodations for the show?
I will be streaming everything on Twitch, on my place. Well, I guess on my Xbox probably, because there's no proper Twitch app on the PS4 for reasons known only to Sony and Twitch.
Well, there was an E3 app last year.
I guess there was. We'll see if they hopefully they release it. Yeah. But yeah, either way, somehow I'll be streaming it at home on my television where I can watch it comfortably in my underwear or whatever. Because I didn't request a day off. I just happen to have Monday off with press conference day. So that's the day I'm most excited to have off anyway. So.
Yep, that's actually how it worked out for me too. I typically ask for Mondays off anyway. So yeah, they were like, "Oh, okay, score." Contemplating asking for Tuesday off though, just so that if I'm like, if you go, it's like seeing like a pay-per-view and working the next day. If you're like really hyped up, you can't sleep and you go into work tired. So
okay.
But anyway, Joe, you wanted to do predictions for the show this week.
Yeah.
Which is very bold because typically you wait till the show before the show to do that. But all right. So we've done 6 predictions each. So, Joe, do you want to start off with?
Yes, I do. Because all right. So my first prediction is, well, first let's go with the free bingo space. Let's go ahead and just throw out the obvious one that doesn't count towards either of our predictions in terms of the number of predictions. But I'm pretty sure we're not going to see Last Guardian this year either. So just put that down as your free space on your bingo card or whatever. My first proper prediction is Guerrilla Games. They supposedly have been up to something that isn't Killzone related, and I think that we'll finally see that post-apocalyptic open world RPG that they've been rumored to be working on for a while. The timing might be a little less than ideal for them now that Fallout 4 has been pretty much revealed and will be revealed as well. And I think Bethesda's might even, like, their press conference might even be before these Sony's.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, we'll have pretty much everything we want to know about Fallout 4 before, Guerrilla Games could ever show their thing. But I do think that is going to be something that can be shown at the Sony press conference.
All right. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope for their sake, though, that it's nowhere near the release date for Fallout 4. Oh, God. Imagine if it's the same month. Those poor guys.
Not necessarily that. I just hope it does have, an identity of its own. Because, of course, there's no shortage of apocalyptic situations in fiction, you can make an apocalypse out of a lot of different things. So maybe hopefully they don't go like the nuclear route or whatever. Maybe it's some other thing, some other catastrophe. But either way, I'd be excited to see them do something that isn't necessarily Killzone.
All right, we go to mine, and I don't know how you're going to feel about this one. I kind of would say that this is sort of a free bingo square too, but I think we'll see a Mass Effect 4 trailer finally.
Yeah, that's probably definitely for sure a thing.
Yeah, last year we had the tease because they had like just this kind of big thing where all the producers were talking, and it was getting ready for Dragon Age 3, but there was this one weird section where they're like, hey, we loved working together, especially on Mass Effect, and they started showing scenes like, oh, there's so much we did in this game that we're getting ready to implement on Mass Effect 4, and you're like, hey, you're on the edge of your seat, you're like what, and then they just cut to more Dragon Age 3. But I think we'll actually have something like a trailer. I don't think it's going to be out this year, obviously, but I think that we'll start to get our first good taste. I think that's coming.
Okay. All right. I wanted to do a Mass Effect 4 prediction, but on top of the fact that you kind of just took it from me, I'll go with an even crazier BioWare prediction here, Malcolm.
Okay.
Because BioWare, it's not just one studio. There's a couple of BioWare studios, like in Austin, over in Canada as well. So here's my prediction here, Malcolm, is that BioWare, with all this hullabaloo around the new film, might be working on a new KOTOR game. What if they did that? New Knights of the Old Republic.
It would make sense.
The timing, it's too good. The timing's too good. The Old Republic, their MMO, God bless it. It wasn't the rousing success that they had hoped it would be.
Nope, it really wasn't.
It's still chugging along. People are still playing it, but whenever the transition to free to play isn't usually after starting with a subscription model isn't usually the best sign. And they've been doing the free to play for a while, but still, I think I think the time, like even though they're they're working on Mass Effect 4 or whatever they end up calling it, I think it'd be cool if they were working concurrently on a new Star Wars RPG as well.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would only say, well, these aren't the same people that are doing Battlefront, right?
No, DICE is doing.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's quite possible, actually. Yeah. I mean, it would be really crazy. I mean, imagine if they announced this and we get like a Forced Unleashed 3 or something like that, and it's all coming on the month of Star Wars. Like, if you got a Star Wars anything that month or even the month before that the movie comes out, that's the time to do it right there to gain the most money and just make that entire 30-day period like this crazy Star Wars fanatic shit. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. That's an interesting one. I like that. All right, this one, I think it's time, Joe.
Okay.
No Man's Sky gets a release date.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that we haven't gotten one, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
come to think of it, yeah.
I hate to compare it to Watch Dogs, but we've gotten like 3 good trailers for it, but nothing as far as a release window.
Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much now or never for it. I mean, you already get any longer, and people are like, "Oh, okay."
I'm going to give you a chance to expand on your prediction here, Malcolm.
Okay.
Do you think it will be they're going to lock it down as an exclusive for the PlayStation 4? Because they've only been showing it on PlayStation 4, but for now, I think they're planning on putting it on PC as well. But do you think Sony just puts down a pile of cash and says this only comes to PS4?
That might be the holdup, actually. Now that I think about it, and as far as the release date or what have you. But yeah, I think especially back at that video game award show, the bad one that just went to hell. Starting from that first premiere, I think Sony has been trying to wine and dine this guy. So I could definitely see it being an exclusive, or at the very least a timed exclusive.
Right.
But
the way I see it, they reveal, not only they get on stage or whatever, and they reveal that No Man's Sky will release exclusively on PlayStation 4 on whatever date. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're doing this movie experience type of setup for the conference where you can go watch it in theaters, that makes me really suspect that they've got some big announcements. So that's why. So that's one of the big reasons that I would actually say, yeah, it'll be announced as an exclusive just to get like everyone in the theater pumped.
Yeah.
All right. What's yours? What's your next one, Joe?
Let's see. My next one. Let's bring it down a peg. Just to cool my heels a little bit here. An easy one, I think. But I think they'll reveal Gran Turismo 7 for later this year.
Ooh, okay.
On PlayStation 4, obviously, because but yeah, because it's a little, well, frankly, it's kind of embarrassing that Microsoft is gearing up for Forza Motorsport 6. That leaked a little bit. Like, I think Xbox Japan posted on their site, like, here's all the info on Forza Motorsport 6, and everyone's like, but yeah, that the fact that they would have 2 Forza games, 3 if you count Forza Horizon 2, on the Xbox One, while we still haven't seen a single Gran Turismo, I think they have to prioritize that. Maybe put that on the maybe kind of supercharge that development. They can.
Now, do you see it coming out what, 2016 or later?
It has to be this year.
Really? Oh wow!
Because it just kind of has to be. It's like it's like there's so many other racing games coming out on these new systems, and Gran Turismo isn't one of them. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Especially after Drive Club was what it was. They kind of need a proper driving game on the PS4 that they can call their own. Like, obviously Project Cars is on there, but not Gran Turismo.
No, that's a uphill climb, to be fair.
Yeah.
All right, so this next prediction actually has nothing to do with PlayStation.
No.
All right, the Nintendo NX.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna hear nothing about it this year.
Oh, definitely not.
Like I keep seeing it pop up in the news. Like, is Miyamoto going to talk about it on the conference call, or what's going to be on the NX? And Nintendo, and people are actually saying, oh, they're going to talk about it and reveal it. No, dude, they still got games coming out for the Wii U, most notably a new Zelda. They're not going to take steam away from it by introducing this new console where, if like half of it is true, sounds like it's the second coming of consoles, because it sounds really amazing from like what I'm hearing from rumors, but then again, it's just rumors for right. It could just be like a box with a wind-up thing on it, and that's how you power it. But I don't think we're going to hear a thing about it. We probably won't hear about it for another 2 years or so.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, what's your next one?
Let's see. Well, what's your? Oh, no, yeah, that was it. All right, let's ramp it back up. I think that Sony will reveal another hardware revision for the PlayStation Vita. Like a how they did basically 3 different PSPs. The Slim, and then the PSP 2000, and then the 3000. I think they're going that route, the Vita as well. And along with that, they'll also come to their goddamn senses and lower the prices of the memory card to some extent.
You mean the Vita?
Yeah.
All right. So you're saying like a Vita 2 will be announced,
right?
Oh, you stole mine! Oh my God.
Well, not a Vita 2, but another revision of the Vita. Like maybe they'll just put in a slightly better processor in there for it to load a little faster or whatever.
Okay.
On top of just kind of increasing the efficiency of the battery or something. To like, hey, look, longer battery life, and it's even lighter than ever.
It's
that
floating.
Type of,
look at it.
That type of thing. Plus a permanent price drop for the memory card.
See, and since I already said it, I'll go right into mine. I think they're just going to announce a Vita 2. And I think this will be the low point of the conference. This will be the thing that people make fun, because there's usually like one part where people make fun of Sony, like, what the hell were they thinking? But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else they could do to it, because Vita in and of itself was already pretty good, or was already pretty spectacular as it is. Like, unless you could fucking play PS4 games on it without remote play, I don't know what more you could do with it. But I'm sure they thought something up, and maybe it'll use micro SD cards. That would be a great idea.
What if that is the revision? They just fucking say enough of these stupid ass memory cards. Get the new Vita that lets you use this micro SD card instead, on top of it being lighter or whatever.
Like, I wouldn't be mind if they released, try to do what they were gonna do with the previous one, and that's release a 4G LTE model instead of a 3G model.
I don't see that happening at all, because I don't think they've even sold the 3G model.
They sold one. That's what mine is.
I know, but I'm saying they haven't sold it like on store shelves for like 2 years. Like, they phased that thing out after like a year.
Yeah, of course they phased it out, Joe. It was a 3G device. I mean, it existed during like 5 years into 4G LTE. That was like, really? 3G?
Yeah, but I mean, unless they remove some of the limitations of like, that they had with the 3G on the Vita, on top of just being the 3G or whatever, but there were like hardcore like download limits. Like, you could only download 20 megabyte files at the biggest, and you couldn't play online on a 3G connection. Like, if we could get rid of those, barricades, then maybe I can see them doing a 4G one.
Yeah, if they were to like work out something with AT&T, or whatever the cell phone, or all of them, where they would sell it, and you could get like a freaking Vita on a 2-year for $1 or something like that, and like it's just like a $10 add-on. That might work, I think.
Maybe,
but we would have to see. All right.
I just don't see them doing a Vita 2 though, because I mean, the Vita, bless its soul, just doesn't. Hey, the sales of that thing just doesn't justify in a brand new fucking handheld.
Hey, I'll admit this is my Hail Mary of the guesses. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not really gonna. This is not my hill to die on. This guess right here. But at the end of the day, it's Sony, and they've been doing really good up until now. But eventually they're gonna do a Sony misstep at some point, and I think that would be the definition of a Sony misstep. So that's my lame duck guess there. Joe, what's your next guess?
Let's see. My next guess, Malcolm, is that we will see a brand new God of War game revealed here at E3 2015.
Son of a bitch!
They revealed a couple months ago, or was it a couple months ago now, that they revealed, that they're remaking God of War 3 on PlayStation 4 for, reasons known only to Sony in Santa Monica.
Let's start at the end. That's fine.
It's a fine game, but it's really weird that they're redoing just that one game. But yeah, I think that, people just love God of War. They just love that shit, and it's a fine game, so I don't see them, backing off from it anytime soon. I think we'll see a proper new new God of War game. Maybe they'll call it God of War 4. Maybe because God knows we don't want another Ascension.
No, and going back to Ascension, there's actually like one of the things you unlock is essentially a teaser for the next God of War. So there's definitely something coming. I hope it's a proper sequel, not a prequel like Ascension was either.
Yeah. Oh God.
Gotta talk about your fallen man. Heyo.
Man. What if they reboot this as the God of War thing with a new character? Maybe it's just a new mythology in general. Like they go away from the Greek mythology and go into some other thing.
Yeah, I mean
that would be
that's been batted around a few times before, and I'm trying to think what like the go-to one for it to work, I guess, is Norse mythology. But you could have fun with just about any mythology out there, really. Mm-hmm. So that could be cool too. I mean, because you've sort of done all you could with the Greek gods, or what's left of them. I mean,
I just don't see where where else you could go with Kratos as a character. Like I've gotten my fill of Kratos. I think
maybe the next character will be likable too.
Maybe
that'd help. All right. For my next bold prediction here, I think there will actually be talk about the Morpheus, and and I think we will finally get a release date.
Do you think there'll be a price along with that?
Probably not.
No. What kind of release date do you think they'll come up with?
Well, hold on. They do a release date. Yeah, they're going to have to do a price. That's going to be interpreted as such a bad sign if there's no price. So, all right. So I will say yes. They reveal a price. Sadly, I think it's going to be like $299.99. And though, if they could get it to $200, that would be so sweet. But looking at the specs of that, I'm guessing that's going to be the price. And for release window, I would actually say probably first quarter 2016.
Okay, that's plausible.
Okay. Oh, good. Plausible. Right.
Perfectly plausible prediction there.
Yeah, I can't make fun of that. No. All right, Joe, you tell your last one, and I'll try to, or your next one, and I'll try to figure out one more for me to just grab.
Okay. Let's see. Going back to Electronic Arts, that company over there, that people seem to dislike for reasons that aren't totally fair. Mirror's Edge 2 seems like it is primed for a full E3 blowout. I think we'll finally get to see all the progress they've been making on that game. You'll get to see some sweet trailers. You'll get a proper name. I think I think they'd still only revealed it as Mirror's Edge or whatever. So I think we'll get a proper name for the game, whether it's simply Mirror's Edge 2 or they give it a subtitle or whatever. And we'll get a release date. We reported a couple of weeks ago that they said that game's coming early 2016. So I think we can get a proper release date, whether they say spring or they just say March or February 2016. I think we'll get all of that information at E3 next week.
All right. So my last prediction of the night. Now, if you remember, I don't know, I forget if this was E3 or one of the other conferences from last year, but one of the bigger shockers that I could remember in recent memory is when they announced that Street Fighter V was a PS4 exclusive on consoles, and yeah, it's coming to PC, but still, as between us and the Xbox, it's only coming to us.
Right, and since Sony is kind of backing the online component so that you could play cross-platform between PC and Sony, it's a pretty Sony-heavy game all the way.
Oh yeah, and they're starting to make money, so they now on their video games. So I think Sony has gotten the picture that like, okay, this wonderful black box is giving us money. Let's continue to put money into it. So I think at E3 we're gonna get another shocker. I think they're gonna grab another IP that was at one time on both consoles and get it to be PS4 only.
Do you have a franchise in mind, or are you just gonna leave it at that?
Call of Duty. I don't know. How crazy would that be?
I don't see that happening because all the pre-order stuff for Black Ops 3 still has Microsoft. The Xbox as the lead platform, so to speak.
Yes, you get the president of Activision come out with a Call of Duty shirt. They embrace PlayStation, and then he takes off the shirt, revealing a PlayStation shirt. And then what's the head guy at Microsoft?
Phil Spencer.
Phil Spencer comes out and he's like, why? And then all of a sudden, Shuhei comes from behind and nails him with a steel chair. And then they spray paint PS4 on his back. It'll be great.
Yep, that too sounds plausible.
Yeah, that's all happening, folks. uh, let's see. I guess like I'm trying to think of one. Like I wouldn't be. I think it would be funny if Titanfall 2 was exclusive to PS4. Just for a little tit for tat there. I don't know, like because Street Fighter. I would say that's the epitome of a game that should be on both consoles, and at the same time, Tomb Raider. Even though that it's like a timed exclusivity, I was kind of surprised by that too. So I don't know. I think anyone's fair game at this point. I'm trying.
Give me a franchise, Malcolm.
I have to pick a franchise.
Yeah, give me a franchise. Don't just tell me that they're gonna do a thing, but not tell me. Give me a franchise.
All right, I will tell you after your next pick.
What? Man, no, that was my last pick, wasn't it?
Oh, okay. You went first. I thought. Okay.
Okay, I'll say that. Don't reveal Watch Dogs. There you go.
God damn. Okay, is there any sequels that are having trouble or what have you?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. Is there any like sequel that people have been begging for but haven't been able to secure it or anything like that? Or
not that I know, really.
Imagine if it's Minecraft 2.
I mean, that would
like
be
asking Phil Spencer, dude, you fucking own this. Why is it a PS4 exclusive? Like, they have a lot of money, dude. I don't know. It wouldn't be shocking otherwise. Like,
give me a shocker here, Malcolm. Come on.
A shocker. Oh,
give me a shock. Shock and awe.
Shock and awe. All right. Fallout 4.
Well, I mean, they already revealed it for PC and Xbox One as well. What are you doing?
Oh, they did? Shit. Okay.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay. Did they already reveal NBA 2K on both consoles?
Actually, they didn't reveal it at all, which is weird. But I mean, that would be ridiculous to remove that.
Spike Lee and he spray paints the president of the NBA.
Why? Shows up at David Stern's house. And David Stern's like, I'm not even the commissioner anymore. What?
I just wanted to be like NWO. That's all. Oh, god damn it. All right, but I'll go with Titanfall 2 for right now.
All right. See, there you go.
All right. So unless there's anything E3 related you want to discuss this week, bud?
No. I guess the only thing I'll encourage our listeners is that since we will have another episode in the can before E3 properly starts, this is your chance to send in your predictions to our fancy new mailbag at thefirmup.com. Send in your predictions, wild or plausible, whatever you like, and we'll read them on the next episode before E3.
Yeah, mail in anything, man. Anything that you think that could possibly happen. Hey, you want to make fun of me for thinking freaking Titanfall 2 is going to come? Or that was the name of the one where you're driving the mechs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be funny, though, too, because, they went exclusive with the first game, and then for them to switch to the other exclusive side would be funny.
And then they do that whole thing with Phil Spencer, and they spray paint PS4 on
and then Titanfall 3 is out on the Wii U. It'd be great.
I would really love it in the Ubisoft part of it too. If they get the guy who voices Archer on the show to come out with Lana, and like the whole time he's like Lana, danger zone.
I love H. John Benjamin. He's awesome.
Oh, he is such a cool guy too. Like, I actually saw him on Conan O'Brien the other day, and it was so weird because he looks nothing like Archer. God bless him, but he looks nothing like Archer. Like
or Bob from Bob's Burgers.
What's that?
Or Bob from Bob's Burgers.
Burgers, yeah.
It's funny because he does the same voice for both characters.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that he. Did you see the Bob's Burger Archer crossover episode they did for like the season premiere of one of the Archers?
No, I did not.
Oh god, you got to check that out because like once again it's the same voice. So like I guess this was after I think Katya died or whatever, and he just like Archer disappears, and when you see him at the beginning of the episode, he's like cooking burgers, and then like these Russian spies try to kill him, and he kills them both, and then you see that he's got a mustache and he's actually Bob, and you get to see Bob's family all animated in Archer style. It's so weird, but it's a good episode. Anyway, folks, that does it for this week's episode. Once again, if you liked our predictions or you have your own, write into what's that address again, Joe?
Mailbag at thefirmup.com.
Indeed, folks. Thank you so much for joining us this week. If you like what you heard, you can follow us in a various assortment of ways. Number one, if you have an iPhone like me and Joe, you can go right to your podcast app and search us out and subscribe to us, and you'll have every episode appear as they come. And do us a favor, click the like button from your Facebook there and like us, and also give us a 5-star review. Greatly helps out the show, and we appreciate it when you do. Also, If you have an Android device, never fear. I made sure that you can get it too. You can use the Stitcher Radio app, which is free and allows you to stream each and every single episode as it comes. If you prefer to download it, I recommend you take a look at this app called Pocket Cast. It's $4 one time, but you'll be able to download as well as stream. You can also find us on SoundCloud. You can also find episodes on our YouTube channel, and you can also find us on Twitter at PSMount for me, at Once23 for Joe, and at The Firm Up for the show. And most importantly, if all else fails, you can find us on our own webpage, www. That's very important, thefirmup.com. And Joe, is there anything else I'm forgetting?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, it's great to have you back, man. Missed
No.
that show was quite weird and difficult to do. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next week.
See you later.